Hello, welcome to my channel. So in the last couple of days, I'm making videos on, especially on a Linux virtual machine, right? And related to that video, so we covered like installing Linux server, that is Ubuntu server, right? Especially on as a virtual machine, right? On a Oracle virtual box. So now as a next part, I'm going to cover how you can connect your any Linux server, right? At the which is basically present in a network site, right? And you want to connect that Linux server machine from your machine, right? Let's say from your Windows server, right? Windows machine. So you can connect that machine via a standard communication. We can say SSH server, client server. We can say method. So I'm going to showcase today the demonstration how we can connect by using a Putty application via SSH server protocol. So yeah, let's start. Okay. So what is SSH? SSH is means it stands for secure socket. You can say secure socket shell or secure shell. Is a kind of a network communication protocol that enables two system or two computers to communicate each other via proper encryption authentication layer. Okay. So uh, for connecting any Linux server, there is a very famous way, that is SSH, connecting via SSH client. And for that SSH client, the common famous tool used is what? Putty. So Putty is a open source application which is used as a SSH connecting any Linux machine, right? Uh, where this SSH client, right? And so, so we need now for connecting, right? We need two things. One is SSH client, that is in this case, in this demo, we are going to use Putty, right? And the second thing is on the target server, right? On the Ubuntu server, in our case, we have to install SSH server, right? So these are the quick steps we can see. These are the quick steps we are going to follow to connect our Ubuntu server install on virtual machine, right? And these are the quick steps what we are going to do, right, for the connecting our Ubuntu server via Putty. So first thing, we will be installing Putty application on Windows machine. That is, in my case, my desktop, my local Windows machine. And of course, in our case, I have a virtual machine, right, installed on my local virtual box, right? So I'm going to install SSH server, right? That is open SSH server on my Ubuntu server, right? And then once these two applications are installed, right, and then I have to do a small change in my virtual box network configuration, that is opening a port. We can say it's opening a port that is 22, right? So double two, it is about default port used in SSH server, right? Connecting. So via this port, we are going to connect, right? And yeah, and the last step is just opening a putty and putting this server server information with this port. We can directly log into the Ubuntu server. Yeah. So for installing putty is a very small and simple tool, right? So if you want to install that uh, putty server, it's very simple. Here I go to the Google and just type download. So you should get this first link, that is http.putty.org. So go here and here choose the first option, that is download the putty, right? So once you click here, you will get on this site, right? And so in my case, I download this is the latest, right? So for Windows, right, for installer, you can click here this. So this setup installer will get download, right? So and just you have to run as administrator, and you have to do a couple of simple steps, and then your putty will get installed, right? Let me show my putty. uh, so yeah, let me show this my install putty. So this is the Putty application, which is already installed, right? So if you open here, yeah, so this is the simple tool what I was telling you, right? So we'll see this how we can use this to connect Linux server. Yes. So now our second step is we want to also install OpenSSH server, right, on our Linux server machine. And in that our case, uh, that is Ubuntu server, right? So yeah, so let's install Ubuntu server. Let's install SSH client, sorry, SSH server on Ubuntu server. All right. So on my virtual box, this is my Ubuntu server, right? So let me start this machine. Okay, it is getting started. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. My Ubuntu server. So let me log into this server, enter my username and password. Yep, I'm able to log in successfully. Now to install, right, to install OpenSSH server, right? So this is the command you need to follow, right? Sudo apt install OpenSSH server, right? So later on I will make one video where I'm going to explain um, um, what are the basic simple commands which you need to learn for while working on Linux machines, right? So in this case, just understand this command. You can just type this command by saying my this text, right? So sudo apt install. So sudo means super root level. We're executing this command as root level, and so apt install. So this command is kind of installing any new software, right? So in our case, this is right. So let me put this command here: sudo apt install open SSH server. Okay, so once I press tab, automatically it recognize this. Okay, so insert, give us your username password, password for your user, that is root user, right? So yeah, so it is now checking this server in available repository, and of course for install you need an internet connection, right? Okay, all right. So it is installed successfully, right? So now let's put another command, that is service, and okay, let me put service help. Okay, so service status all. Okay, this is the command again. This command you can fire to check what are the different services running on your this server, right? So you can see SSH is there. So I'm going to use this service SSH status. All right. So let me start this SSH server, putting my password. All right, let's check again SSH server. Okay, so you can see here the open SSH server is started, and the port is right 22. So it is listening on port 22, where any SSH based client can uh, authenticate or build a connection to this server. All right, so let's jump to the virtual box. uh, One setting we need to do, right, as my host machine, right, my host Windows, to kind of connectivity, to make kind of connectivity from Windows host, to this VirtualBox VM, right? Uh, we need to change one small option, or we need to configure one small option. So in a network setting, so by default, the type of that adapter is configured here is a NAT, right? So NAT is basically is mean that your host cannot communicate to the virtual machine directly, right? Whereas your um, VM can access anything over the net, right? But it can't access your host machines, right? So to make a kind of communication happen with provided ports, we can go in advanced option and you can click on port forwarding option. So this is by default, there is no any port by default. So you need to just add here. So let me show you how you can add. I have deleted. Just click add. You can mention any rule. Let's say I'm going to here use SSH server. Then host keep blank. So host port 22, guest type be blank and guest port. So guest means what? In our case, guest is a Ubuntu server, right? And host is my Windows, right? So I'm going to whenever I'm going to hit this port, right, 22 on my host machine, the VirtualBox will forward this request to the guest, right? And in our case, in a guest, we have installed SSH server, which is a listening one port 22. Fine. So let me click OK. So yeah, this is the role defined we can say. Click OK. Fine. So now let's try by opening a putty tool. Let's try whether we are able to connect or not. So let me open the putty server, putty client tool. Yeah, there is my putty. Okay, so let me minimize this thing also. So okay, so I already enter here. I already saved this local setting here. So you can in your case, if this is a blind, you can just put here localhost or local IP, that is 127.0.0.1, and you can kind of save this setting. And once you click on open, it will open uh, command prompt, a separate command prompt. Okay, and here you are able to see login as, right? Let me put my Ubuntu server credentials. So username is Arjun, password is this. Perfect. And here you can see I'm able to connect my Ubuntu server, right, via putty tool, right? And I can perform like actions, anything. Okay, to just demo one use case, let's say I want to shut down my Ubuntu server, right? Remotely, right? So we have this putty client, right? So I can fire this command. Let's say sudo shutdown now, right? So let me increase the font so little bit here. So in the window appearance, here is the font. Okay, fine, great. So if I enter this command sudo shutdown now, let me put my password. Okay, this is not valid. Let me push this way. Great. You can see here your connection is getting break because instantly your server got shut down, right? Let's check whether actual VM is got shut down or not. So let's go to our Windows, this VirtualBox manager. So you can here see our machine is get shut down, right? It's completely power up now. Yeah, this is what I want to demonstrate. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let's meet in a new video with new concept, a new tutorial. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please share and like.